Julia, tell us a little bit about the group that you started, Brave the World.
I don't think it would be a group. It's just what I call my identity in the anti-political movement. And I started it because I wanted a forum that reaches a wider audience, that reaches an audience hopefully outside of the ANCAP libertarian freedom movement community. And I love to present all of these ideas of liberty and self-governance in a way that can resonate with people, in a way that maybe doesn't invoke a defensive attitude. I'm still figuring out how to do that, so keep watching, I guess.
And is there a goal or a message that you would try to teach people about?
Yeah, get your shit together and be responsible for yourself, and don't expect anybody else to solve your problems on any level, whether it's economic or personal or monetary. I just want people to do what they can and what they're capable of without any entity or any individual imposing their will on them and preventing them from accomplishing or not accomplishing what they like.
Now, it sounds like maybe an anarchist type society. Tell me, what does anarchy mean to you?
Basically what I just talked about, so self-ownership, self-governance, not relying on anybody. Not that I don't encourage family values and being a unit, but that's all. Again, there's a difference between having an imposed system of organization versus a voluntary system where people organize. It's completely different, and I think there's a huge misconception with anarchy. Anarchism doesn't mean that everybody's on their own, scattered around, gathered around bonfires with no systems in place. There's still systems in anarchy, but they're not imposed on anybody in any way.
I've heard it said before that it's some people make the misconception saying it means no rules, and then I've heard it doesn't mean no rules, it means no rulers. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, basically. I mean, if you want, you can call inherent rights rules. I mean, if you have the inherent right to your life, then the rule is you don't kill anybody. So, I mean, that's just a semantics game, though.
If we did dissolve government in a anarchist, I'll call it utopian society, what type of system could you see replacing it? Or, as you said, should there be no system at all? What would, in your mind, replace this system?
Well, utopian is not favorable to me. I mean, first of all, it's unachievable, and it's boring. Who wants to live in a perfect society where there's no struggle, no butting heads, no excitement? I mean, we're human beings, and we have different emotions. We have a whole sphere of possibilities for our kind. So we're not on a single plane. So the whole idea, we shouldn't even be moving towards a utopia. Like, that's just even a silly thing to try and accomplish, because then there'll be no productivity. With utopia, there's no sadness or grief or struggle. What do? We create out of those things. And that's the whole problem with the system that's imposed on us today. Be happy, be compliant, everything's great. Make your $40,000 a year. Your kids are healthy and safe. Your family's okay. I mean, that's nice, but I think there's a reason why our government and whatever you want to call it wants us to feel that way, because it makes people do nothing.
So more so of a vision of what the future can be or may be in an anarchist world is more about discussing about the current problems with government and deciding how to deal with that right now?
Yeah, it's taking away the problems that we see now. And whatever's left is going to be the ideal that we should be moving towards. So it's not about imagining a system. It's about getting rid of the system that we have now that's completely imperfect, nowhere close to even working for people on an individual level, unless, again. So if you want a concise answer, I don't have one, but I envision a community-based environment where everybody owns a gun, everybody's polite because everybody owns a gun, and people's moral standards and ethics are elevated to an extent where we're not debased on the level that we are now. We don't debase each other on a animalistic, kind of power-hungry, fiendish, bloodthirsty way. And I guess that's ideal too.
Well, very interesting. Thanks for sharing that with us. Where can people learn more from you about this type of stuff? What are the websites? What are the links?
So the main platform I use is YouTube, so it's Brave the World channel. But you can find all my videos, which I usually I'll write an article that expands on my video's message. So you can find all that at bravetheworld.com, and harass me on Twitter, please, at bravetheworld. And I also have a Facebook page, which you can find through my website again.
Perfect. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.